Yo, what's good everyone? Lokeybeats here with my first free plugin review. Today I'll be going over Soundtoys Little Plate Reverb, which is free until November 22nd. You'll have to make an iLok account in order to download this, and I'll provide both links in the description below. So this reverb is supposed to emulate the EMT 140 plate reverb, which sounds dense, warm, smooth, and dark. Before I get into this, let me show you the example I have here. I use this as a single insert on my choir right here. And let me show you how it sounds as an example. Example, it doesn't sound like a room exactly, but it has some roomy qualities. Like most reverbs, one of the most important controls is the decay time. The decay time determines how long it takes for the reverb tail sound to fade away. In general, a short decay time will produce a tight, small room sound, while a long decay time can create a huge, boomy soundscape. And especially with this infinite reverb right here, you can create some huge, almost like Revenant type soundscapes. I'll show you an example right here real fast. So it goes on for infinity, and the reverb builds upon the previous sounds that are put in the reverb before it. So this is just a small example, but you can make some crazy sounds with this. And also be careful with their volumes, because the volume levels can really build up over time. The mod switch is supposed to create subtle movement within the reverb tail to create a more authentic feel. This can make the sound richer and more smooth, and works well for long decay times. It also works best on pitched instruments like keys, guitars, and vocals. If you know anything about acoustics, then you'll understand that low frequencies behave differently than high frequencies. The lows decay more slowly than the highs, which can lead to a natural buildup of bass energy in the reverb tail. The low cut filters out frequencies from that reverb. So if your reverb sounds too muddy or too boomy, you can increase this to reduce the bass from the mix. So as you can hear, the higher we go, the more it squeezes out low end. The mix knob controls the amount of dry wet, or how much of the signal will be processed. Back in the day, on the physical plates there was no mix knob. Instead, this reverb was basically used as a bus, where many sounds were sent to, and it gives the impression that all the instruments were being played in the same space. The manual recommends to use a little plate on an auxiliary bus with a mix at 100% wet. But like everything else with music, there are no rules, and those are just some guidelines for how it was normally used. This can definitely be used as a single insert. I like the mix at about halfway because when it's 100%, it sounds way too muddy. This sounds just right to me. The little plate comes with some presets, and they're pretty cool to mess with. Click Control and Option and click a parameter. It'll highlight it in red and it'll keep it locked. So when you shuffle through presets, it'll stay the same. So for example, last but not least, the problems I had with this plugin. I'm not sure if it was just my system, but the first day I got this plugin, I would try and load it onto my instruments and it would crash my computer. Like just straight up freeze it. I don't have to restart it. I'm not sure what that was about. That was my only problem with this plugin. Besides that, it's been pretty fun to mess around with, and I can't wait to experiment with this, especially the infinite reverb. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone. If you have any suggestions for the next future video, please put that in the comments below.